get up, get up, get up. Let's get ready for Marcus Maven. You about midway to the midday with Marcus Maven. And you can call in, I lay back and just listen to Marcus Maven. So sit back and relax and watch Maven.
Break it down like this.
Woo!
Broadcasting live from the OPC Pest Services studio. Time for Middays with Marcus Maven on 93.9 The Ville. Now, here's Marcus Maven and Steve Rummage.
Welcome back. Welcome back. It's Midday with Marcus Maven. 8150 93.9 is the number. 93.9 is the station. And I am as excited to be back as I've ever been.
I was going to say, no, welcome back. Welcome back.
No, literally.
Marcus.
Welcome back.
Marcus.
Steve Rummage in the building. Brian Hall in the booth.
Oh, man. It's been a good week. Some would say it's been a great week so far.
Some would say it's been a horrible week.
Some would say it's been a horrible week. So,
Brian, what say you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good over here on my end. I don't know about you, but I'm doing good.
That's good. It's a good feeling, people. I listen. I heard kudos. Appreciate you holding down the show.
We had fun, man.
There's still a show, Brian. I appreciate. The podcast is we're up and everything's rolling, man. I'm happy to be back. I knew that when I got back to the studio, either I was going to have to have a bit of a story time, or you were going to have to, pick my brain and ask me about the trip, and Brian was going to have to ask me some random question about the trip that I wasn't supposed to talk about. And like I figured, Marcus, you need to move back your content for the show at least 10 or 12 minutes. And people will get to the main part of the show, but, your boy, when he took one of his few vacations, I don't really go too far, especially, to Michigan, out of nowhere. So that's why you save your vacation time so you can miss a couple of days. And like I said, the show was in good hands. I'm appreciative of it.
Yeah, no, we had
Steve,
fun.
I know Detroit looked bad. Don't sit in here and give me that look. People, don't give me those tweets and texts. Give me a heartfelt keep trying. Give me some kind of, well, at least Jalen didn't play bad.
That's true.
Give me something to make me. I'd lift the spirits of hundreds of thousands of people.
Fair.
Every single day. Please, people, don't let this be the day where you say, what happened to your boy? Don't do that to me. Be nice.
I don't think Jalen played bad, though, to be fair.
Are you even allowed to say that? Are any of us allowed to say somebody didn't play bad with that bad of a score, Steve?
Yeah, that's true. It was bad. Look, Stafford sucks.
No, he doesn't. He's awesome, Steve. Stafford is an awesome quarterback. He's the second highest paid quarterback in the league.
That's a good point.
He just needs a little time. This is like his 10th year. He like I said, some of the great quarterbacks, they don't really hit their stride until a little later on in their career. And it's early in the year.
He's big. He's big time. Big time player.
Sometimes you just have a rough start. But I will say this. I'm in Detroit, and I'm watching the big Jumbotron, and I'm enjoying myself. And every time the New York Jets scored, I was looking to make sure it was my boy who didn't give up the touchdown.
Fair.
I felt guilty as sin because I have not taught him to be that way. I am not that way. I've never been. It wasn't my fault, guy. Yeah. I mean, now on the radio, I can. Now I can say, Ellis, you got to hit your free throws, man.
Right. Yeah, I can look back.
Shout out to, actually, Louisville Magic are holding tryouts. I will get you that information soon.
Really?
Yeah, that's a fact. I will get you that information a little later on. I saw it pop up on my wall. I'm sure Ellis will be texting or calling in. You got to hit your free throws. See, 10, 15 years later, however many years later, you can say, no, that was your fault,
Yeah.
But at the time, you say, don't do that. Don't be the it's not my fault.
Well, Stafford sucks.
No.
Yeah, with all that being said, which is good because it helped me win my fantasy game.
Oh, don't we're not allowed to tie fantasy and real life in there together. So boy, being people, I did take a road trip. It's surprisingly, like I said, 5.5 hours.
Yeah.
The rain made it a little crappier.
How was the weather up there?
It's colder.
Mm-hmm.
For it to be September 11th, September 10th, you know, it was colder, Steve.
Yeah.
Like I had on one of my full U of L Chris Mack sponsored Adidas hoodies. I ain't tell you about it.
Yeah, thanks. I know. No, I know you was over there. I know you have gear. I mean, I'm not.
I did have some nice. I pulled out some of the fall fly gear.
Right. Fair enough.
It's awesome.
Yes.
You know what did happen? You know, people, funny stories coming out of Detroit. Now, I'm sure you can imagine, and Steve, you will have a great appreciation for this.
Okay.
As a guy who likes ballers,
I love ballers.
Not literally, but figuratively, the show Ballers, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Steve, I forgot what the family rooms are like.
Yeah.
Boy, people listening here, there is drama in the family room, and you can spot it coming.
Sure.
Like, imagine 4 members of family, 53 players, and it's money in that room.
Oh, yeah. Oh, a ton of money.
It smells.
Yeah.
That room smells
Stupid
like
money.
I'm telling you, man. The shark agents are there. The shark women with different motivations are there.
Fair.
I mean, families there.
Yep.
People worried about getting cut. People worried about I did my job. People angry in there. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
Everything was in that family. I realized I'm sitting with Gary Vaynerchuk. People, you should Google that name. It's like super new billionaire guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I forgot. Like, I look at his videos and I forgot that he's Jalen's agent. He sits down with me. We're kicking it. So I'm in here kicking it with some high dollar, high big time people, right?
Right.
So I'm just setting the scene. I'm not bragging about the high dollar people that I'm sitting with just yet. We're in the family area, right by the elevators. You know, you go straight into the room. I mean, elevator to family room. Like, it's all the same thing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Guy comes up to me, because, of course, I'm Louisville out. Mm-hmm. And I swear, you know how you're in this room and there's so many familiar, popular faces that sometimes you kind of get overwhelmed. Like,
absolutely.
There's a lot of, like, you remember, like, the first time we were on a road trip and you were like, that's Coach so-and-so, and that's Coach Patino, and that's Coach Patino's nephew that we heard about the one time. Like you get overwhelmed with faces you know, and I'm
what, do you remember, like, for instance, we were in Indy, and we watched Richard Pitino lose on Friday, and then Saturday, we walk down, me and the wife, we walk down, and we meet Marcus, and there's Richard Pitino checking into the hotel.
Right.
Coming to watch Pops.
Right. I mean, it was just like I said, that environment of just, you know, when you around it, you're in it. You're actually in it, right? So I'm going to figure out this guy's face. It's burnt in my brain. I'm going to give you that face. I mean, he might be the AD of Arkansas or something.
Right.
I know this face. He comes up to me with some official Arkansas gear on. Mm-hmm. Think you know where this may be going.
Absolutely.
Full Arkansas guy comes up to me, paraphrasing. Damn, I wish I could have Bobby back. Mm-hmm. I kind of look like, because I don't even know if he's talking to me. I'm forgetting I have this Louisville gear on. He says something about, man, y'all got a great coach up there. I'd do anything to get Bobby back. And now he has my attention.
Yeah.
You know, because now I realize he's talking to me about Bobby Petrino because I got all this Louisville gear on. And like I said, I know the face. And then he just kind of goes on and just like, you know, I mean, you know, it was bad, but man, you know, that guy can coach some football. Like, he was like, whatever Bobby got, he forgot. Like, he almost forgot what Bobby Petrino was, you know.
Why he lost the job.
Yeah, so when he looks at the Ohio State situation, and when he looks at all these, like, I'm telling you, this guy, he might be the basketball coach of you know, like, it was something. I know the name, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta look at this.
Well, time out. Let's let Marcus read his text.
I know that, LaDon. I know that. Jeez. Well, he's technically not Jalen's agent. It's the
You get it right.
I'm sitting with millionaires and billionaires.
Get it right. Yeah,
LaDon,
look.
don't correct me on air.
If you're gonna name drop on air, then get it right.
Get his official
get
title
his
right.
official title
no,
right.
I'm not doing that, but you get the point.
Right.
Well, she's listening. Hi.
Hey.
So, guys, you know, I mean, he's like really emotional about dude, I want him back. So you got to think when he's looking at Urban Meyer and looking at these other coaches whose players are doing a couple things and they're just brushing off, and coaches are hiding emails and wiping phones, and players like at Vanderbilt, players are down there catching rape charges and looking institutional at Baylor, and these coaches are keeping their jobs because they're good at what they do. And then the cooler head, instead of letting the quick reaction media decide what the people should do, because what happens every time we ask, who do you think should be a coach? Basketball, football, baseball. Everybody that we talk to on a daily basis says that guy would be exciting to listen to in press conferences.
Absolutely.
How deflating is that, Steve? How deflating when you ask for opinions about who should coach or who should be a new coach of your beloved program.
Yeah.
Like, even if it wasn't your beloved program, how deflating is it to say this guy's a great interview? I mean, like I said, I understand why other people feel that way, but it hurts my feelings personally because I'm invested into the success emotionally, not financially, not any other way. Like it hurts my heart.
Well, I think it goes back to what we say on here all the time. My biggest question is when you go to that conversation is, I want to change it, coach. Okay, who do you want?
Right, who?
Well, I don't know.
But he's just not getting it done.
But I want somebody.
Okay, so what do you consider getting it done?
Yes,
championship.
Okay, so then
give me an available championship winning coach.
Then who are you bringing in to meet your standard?
I just want to take a gamble.
Okay,
you don't even have a standard. You don't have a gamble. But you know what? You know what you have out here? As soon as you get outside of the state of Kentucky, right, you get a total new appreciation for how good your sports programs are.
That's absolutely.
And I'm sitting here and I'm waiting for my seat change because Jalen told me when I get to the building, I need to ask for a certain guy by name and he'll take care of you. And he has a gift bag for you waiting and everything's taken care of, right?
Yes.
And you know what I hear up there? Hey, go Cards.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey.
You're right. Top of the wood. I'm in Michigan. Oh, boy, you got to give us hell. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right? You hear about here, you're like, I don't know what we're going to do, Steve. Our coach is getting ready for, I don't know if Matt can get it done. I don't know. Baseball, we're always in the World Series, but we can't get over the hump. And Ken Lola is in the Sweet 16 every year, but he can't get over the hump. And Rex Karma has been the most consistent tennis coach for 22 years, but he can't win the big one.
And Jeff Walls is only making Final Fours.
But he's not really technically right.
I know. No, I agree.
But you got to go out of town to get it.
You do. And I think you realize it allows you to realize how good you do have it.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So, okay. So since everybody, you can ask your questions about the trip, whatever, so we're supposed to rehash and reminisce, but now we're in it.
Right.
So when you say it's important to appreciate, let me run something by you. It's not going to feel good.
Okay.
When you hear it out loud.
Well, I don't know if I want to hear it.
You're gonna have to.
I want to feel good.
You can transition.
Okay.
But I'm going to present a scenario.
All right.
But I'm reeling you in right now to this scenario. I need the listeners to listen close and appreciate this scenario.
Okay.
Does Louisville fan base need a 5-win year to start respecting the record in football again?
No. Yes and no.
I'm glad you didn't go completely sarcastic because you get my point.
Because
I heard Perrin Johnson this morning makes this point. Well, to get the fan base back in, I mean, you're gonna have to win. You're gonna have to go 4-0 until the Clemson game. You're gonna have to come in the Clemson game in November at 7-1 to get the fans back in.
Which you may.
Which is possible.
I just wanted to throw that out there.
Which is possible.
Reminding.
Right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing. What if this is not that year? Like, what if you really can't right the ship that quick? What if it's another one of those years like Lamar Jackson's first year where you ended on a tear, right?
Well,
but you
yeah.
take some. Let's say you take 3 losses, 3-4 losses, bam, 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 and then you get it rolling because you start using the fullback more, and now you change the offense, and now no one can stay within 30 points of you the last 4 games of the year.
And we've all talked about next year. You feel like that next year coming into the season, you're going to be a pretty highly ranked team. I think you're going to be a top 15, top 20 team.
Does it sound like excuse making when you say this is a year of potential, next year is a year of a result? Because when you throw in what you did or didn't do with Lamar Jackson, to me that's like the only place you can do that is say you had a disappointing finish to the Heisman year. And if you can't give a psychological, hey, you can lose a team. You can lose a team after a tough loss.
Yeah.
I know your job is a coach, but no, this is not professional sports.
Yeah.
They're not professionals.
Right. Well, and Grantham is the best thing to ever happen to Kentucky. So it's the best coach
I
they've
wasn't
ever
even
had.
going to bring that up. I was going to leave that to my Twitter joke,
Yeah.
Steve. I wasn't going to give a hard time. But
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like, you're still always in it, potential-wise.
Yes.
You're not supposed to get 8-9 wins and just never. Okay, let me ask you this, just to make a comparison. Jimbo Fisher,
Yeah.
how bad? 2 games into the year.
With Florida State, what
What would Florida State do
how many
for
phalanges would they give up?
subpar? Like I mean, I don't know if you've said this before already.
No,
or
I haven't.
don't know.
No, I haven't.
Listen,
week.
and I haven't listened to any sports radio. So
Thanks for the support.
Sorry about that. I was on vacation, Steve.
Okay, I listened to you in
We
Panama
appreciate
City.
it, Marcus.
I called in the first day.
Yeah, I listened in Panama City. You couldn't
We were
listen
on
in
2 days.
I
Detroit,
don't-
Michigan.
I don't know if anybody. I legitimately apologize if somebody stomped on this one.
Yeah.
but this is my first day of the week.
No, but I'll tell you what. Nobody outside of us and maybe Ennis has stomped on it because it totally makes the point.
Jimbo
of
Fisher.
why Louisville. It's a positive Louisville point.
Right. Okay.
So,
Bobby Petrino and Jimbo Fisher are. Do you think Bobby was a better quarterback? I mean, a better coach than Jimbo Fisher.
I mean, I think he was on par.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And
I only said because Jimbo does have a national championship,
it's so unfair because he's Florida,
and he had Jameis Winston,
and where's Jameis Winston from? Texas.
Alabama.
Oh. He got it locked down. He still gets Florida.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Florida is that's like a 30% cheat code.
Well, in Florida State. I mean, the name.
Right.
I was actually having a cordial conversation with my father-in-law yesterday.
You got Deion Sanders for Christ's
Yeah.
sake. We got Donovan Mitchell in basketball. You got Deion Sanders.
And my father-in-law even to an extent admitted, like, kind of. I mean, I had to pry it out of.
Right.
It was like, okay, yeah, you beat Florida, but like y'all are better than Florida. I mean, Florida is not good right now. But I was saying it's still you beat that streak. It's still a big deal. But my point is what me and him were talking about was I said it's like when we went down to beat Florida State last year. Florida State wasn't that good of a team.
And we didn't play that good.
But it didn't matter. You go to Florida State and win. I mean, if Louisville went to Florida last week and won in the swamp, I'd be hyped.
Right.
Look, that's what I say. I mean,
Right. And you and I have this conversation all the time. I'd rather play Michigan in a non-New Year's Six than a UCF.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Like I said,
In the Cotton Bowl.
a UCF that
yeah.
sneaks in there. Like
Yeah.
my nightmare.
I don't know. I kind of want South Florida. But okay, that's a whole nother.
You want it, but what's
Yeah.
better for the fan base emotion is to go get Michigan.
Yeah.
And it don't matter.
South Florida would be, I don't know. South Florida would be interesting. Charlie.
It does not matter what bowl game is. Everybody would take Michigan over South Florida. I don't care.
I don't agree.
We're going to go to the poll question.
I don't
Who
agree.
would you rather have in a bowl game? That's a good one. Because I'm not
saying-
sold.
Okay, me either.
okay.
Like this one's one I think will when I'm
bowl
saying
game. Would you rather have Michigan or South Florida? People don't care about facing Charlie.
I think they do.
No.
I think see. Here's my thing.
Michigan.
I don't think that this is
This
one.
is Louisville. You want to stomp with the big dogs.
This isn't one where I'm like, oh, I'm going to win this one 80-0. 40-20. I do think it's going to be closer to 60-40, 50-50 though, because I think people would be in right now.
For Michigan.
Give me South Florida, Charlie Strong. Let's see it, because that would exercise a demon.
That's a regular season game.
Nah, I don't know, man.
That's a regular season. Michigan.
I mean, the Michigan game would be awesome. Like, this is not one I'm arguing on that.
We'll take in the 2013 champ. We'll consider that a basketball rematch if we got Michigan in football.
That's fair.
We owe you for you causing us to lose the banner. I don't know it wasn't even y'all fault, and I don't even care.
Sure.
But we owe you for them taking our championship.
I mean, I can see that. Absolutely.
You
I would get down with that.
More than Charlie.
I just think more people want that South Florida game than what you give credit for.
I don't think anybody cares about the South Florida game.
Oh, no. I disagree.
I think that would scratch a little minor itch in the back here. I think Bobby wants that more than anything. Text her 8150-939 is the number to call in.
And here's
3831-939 is the text.
And I'm going to
line.
watch how I say this, but I don't think people want it because they're mad at Charlie. I think that's one of those where you go on, okay, this is going to be the worst thing I've ever said.
I'm going to follow you up with something worse.
You have a girlfriend, okay?
Uh-oh. Maybe
and
not.
y'all were in love, and then y'all break up, and then you're with your new girlfriend, or not new girlfriend, but you're talking to this new girl,
right?
Okay, and you're like, old girlfriend says, "Hey, I want to hang out." You go hang out with old
careful,
girlfriend
Steve.
one more time because you're like, I've got to know. I think.
Wait. Just shut your mouth. Just shut your mouth for a couple of seconds and let me process this. Okay. What went into my ears from Steve is I have a long-term old girlfriend and we break up and I'm talking to a new girlfriend. You were careful about saying I'm talking to this new girlfriend, but I have to date the old girlfriend one more time just to know. That may have been, hands down, the worst moment in our partnership. Do you know what kind of problems you're going to cause for everybody?
I do. But
I get your point.
This game,
I hate to say I get your point. Don't get mad at me. I get his point.
I really think if you really twist my arm, I would probably say, yeah, I got to take the Michigan game. But here's the deal. I think people want that South Florida game a little bit just to say, I've got to know. Like I've got to know.
Shut your mouth, Steve.
Can you know, like Bobby?
Can we work it back out?
No.
Am I happier now?
Just yes. Like Bobby, go beat him. And I think he would. See, I totally think he would.
But here's the problem with what you're saying. That guy that you're being is a horrible guy.
It's a terrible guy.
That's what you're saying. That's a horrible fan. That's a horrible piece of crap guy.
Yes.
That has to know if this new.
Huh? And that's why a lot of people in this poll will say Michigan because knowing in the deep soul of themselves they know I'm right a little bit. That you'd say, I kind of do need to see it.
Here's where I thought I was going to say something worse than you.
Okay.
And I was going to get my inner loser. I was going to channel my inner loser, right? Okay. My inner loser says, I don't want to give South Florida a chance to be on par with us. Because I think in the ACC, like here's the thing. You moved into a new neighborhood, right?
Yep.
And South Florida, listen to this one, Steve.
Okay.
Because I'm totally going to one-up you on this one.
Okay.
Brian, who is on our phone lines?
Yeah, sorry, I just reconnected the program.
We got Joel on one and David on two.
Okay, I just reconnected it. Okay, so that was my bad.
So how about this? South Florida,
okay,
is your old neighbors.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
I live in a new neighborhood now.
I do.
Sometimes my old neighbors might come to my new neighborhood.
Yeah.
Driving the same cars from my old neighborhood.
Fair.
And it might get me judged differently by my new neighbors.
Fair.
Right? And I don't want to give my old neighbors a chance to even be in this environment with me, because it's different. I left my old neighborhood behind. I'm already, trying to make a new life in this new neighborhood with new friends around, right?
Yeah.
I don't want the stench of the old neighborhood.
Right.
You lose to South Florida, and I'm speaking from loser mentality.
Yeah.
You lose to South Florida, then you know what people say? Oh, you just steal from the trailer park.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So the fear of still being trailer park Marcus.
But in the same breath, you still drive your new car through your old neighborhood at least once or twice.
No, you don't, Steve.
What up?
See, and that's what you are too. You're still going back. I gotta
What
know.
up?
No, I don't do that, Steve.
I did have a lot of freedom here.
I could totally see that happening.
Steve, that's Steve, isn't it? Like, he's telling the truth.
Like I say, I mean, in theory, the Michigan game is obviously bigger. So, like, don't feel bad about telling me, like, Steve,
Right.
shut up. The Michigan game's bigger. I agree with you. I just think there's more to that South Florida game.
Yeah. Don't just bleep on it. I get
Sure.
what you're saying.
Well, we got some early poll results.
Oh, hang on.
Hold
Third
on,
of
Joel.
people are picking South Florida, and 2/3 are picking Michigan.
So it's there, though.
Yeah,
It
there's some
is there.
South
That's
Florida
what I'm
interest,
saying.
yeah.
Like, I think that, and you got to account for the people who just aren't admitting they want to play.
Quick, no, Joe, welcome to the Ed Scoring Collision Hotline, my man. Joe, what's on your mind?
Well, what's up, Marcus and Steve? Yeah, first off, I play Michigan all day. I don't even like the fact I like the fact they signed up that USF and UCF
David on 2.
years just because I live down here. But overall, it's a no-win situation for Louisville. I mean, if they win the game, they should have. If they lose, it's just a no-win situation. And then all those fans, those fans are terrible anyway. So to have to listen to them if we were to lose would be ridiculous. But hey, real quick question for you guys. I mean, and I agree with what you said about Petrino. It kind of feels like a 2-year type of thing. As far as, like, to me, I've kind of adjusted my mindset this year is make a bowl game, get a lot of kids experience, beat Kentucky, call it good, whatever. And then next year you come in, you got a little bit more hype to you. But to me, after the first 2 games, it's looked pretty terrible. And by the way, I think both Pass and Cunningham are both going to play. So this whole, who's going to start is going to be, I think at the end of the season, both those guys are going to end up having a lot of time because they bring different things, and they're going to switch it up at some point. But I guess my question to you guys real quick is, what could happen for Petrino after this year, and let's say next year? What could happen on your guys' estimation for them to have his job in jeopardy? Because, I agree with the 2-year thing. Let's say they do go 6-6 to a bowl, or the next year they're good. But what is the devil's advocate of that argument as far as Petrino is on the hot seat and possibly getting out of here? On yours estimation, what do you think that could be?
See,
I wanted to see what you guys thought.
Joe, I appreciate the call, and I'm a conscientious objector to continuing with that conversation because hot seat is radio media talk. His performance isn't hot seat talk.
Yeah.
You have to nip and tuck for a narrative to find a hot seat narrative.
Yeah.
But it's easy to do because you know what? Every team that doesn't finish in the Final Four has a coach who's 2 years away from being on the hot seat. So that would just be lazy radio to say this is what would have to happen 2 years in a row to be on the hot seat. Because now we're talking about 4s and 5s and 3s, and you're just saying, okay, anybody goes.
Yeah.
What would separate Bobby Petrino and put him on a hotter seat, on a quicker, hotter seat? When I find something that's particular to Coach Petrino that will put him on the hot seat, I'll have a conversation all day.
Sure. I agree with that.
If Bobby Petrino gets blown out by Kentucky twice in a row, you
gotta go.
Yeah, you dug
I
out.
cannot look at your face again.
You dug out a hot take.
We will Todd Grantham you. I don't care what you've done for me before. I cannot physically see your face.
Right, and
ever again.
even still, when you start bringing up Kentucky, say you're 6 and whatever, you're 6-6, right? And you go waste Kentucky at the end of the year.
Yep.
different attitude.
A whole different attitude.
We're a hell of a lot better than them. So, hey, Bobby, get it together.
Mm-hmm.
Get it together next year.
I just feel like we have this conversation so much.
I know.
And I feel like
It's
I
so
say
unfair.
over and over again that it is unfair.
Yep.
Bobby Petrino I feel like sometimes I'm like, my gosh, he's at one of the only jobs on the planet right now that we would even be talking like this. I mean, there's nothing there for me that warrants this conversation.
Right. And every time you answer that question, it's almost like, I believe in manifestation, like you speaking it into existence. Like if you keep on talking about it, of course it's going to be a hot button. It's kind of like the Rick thing. You know what I'm saying? You can talk it into drama all day if you want to. Let me move along. David, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. Fire away.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Michigan. And I want to go back on that topic. What if we go on a limb and get another Steve Crackthorpe?
That's not a limb. Listen, that's not a limb, David. Listen, I appreciate the call. Listen, there are more Crackthorpes than there are, young Bobby Petrinos.
Oh, absolutely.
Repeat, there are 95% Crackthorpes out there. There are 5%ers, Bobby Petrino. Let's just say the top 10.
Yeah.
Everybody else sucks, people, as the football coaches.
Now I know this is NFL talk, a little bit different, but I mean, it's like even in the NFL, though, every team in week 1 that hired a new coach lost. And there was like 11 teams. I mean, like, you don't just Virginia Tech looks like they may, and it's early, so we'll see. Looks like the Justin Fuente guy from Memphis, maybe they got one of those top 1%ers that looks like he's going to be a guy. Like,
are you willing to gamble on a 1 out of 10 shot? Because that's what you're asking us to have a conversation. Hey, there's a 90% chance the guy's not going to be as good as Bobby. But hey, I'm just so mad at Bobby, I'll do it.
I want you to look at a program like Tennessee. Okay, we would all agree Tennessee is one of the best programs in all of college football. Probably the most beautiful scenery, more ways than one. But
yes.
I mean, I'm talking campus. They have the support. They have everything you could possibly want to be a successful
locked down corner to corner.
And you know what? They got sick of Philip Fulmer winning 8-9 games.
20 years they've been trying to recover.
And they still can't get back.
20 years they got sick of 9-win Philip Fulmer, who can't beat Florida.
And they cannot recover from it.
You can't spell citrus without UT. The media grabbed that
that's a good point,
comment.
Yep.
Old head ball coach makes
Spurrier.
Makes that comment.
Yep.
And the media turned that into a machine.
Yeah. And that's Tennessee.
20 years of futility.
Yeah.
20 years of futility.
Yeah.
All because you thought that this guy who was a 5%er, now every time he opens his mouth, Tennessee Vol Nation from afar. Quarterback coach down at Duke. Tennessee Vol fans follow who's my quarterback coach, who's now the head coach at Duke?
Cutcliffe.
Tennessee Vol fans are Cutcliffe supporters.
No, absolutely.
20 years.
And you know what you've done? 20 years later, you went back to get the guy you fired
and turned him into an AD.
Help us to find a guy to do what you did.
Exactly what you're going to do with Bobby Petrino.
100%.
Bring him right back and turn him into the super football operation savior guy.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you a lot more next time.
Yep.
It's a fact.
Yeah. I'm just saying, don't let the Clemson rivalry blind you. Because the fact is, you do have a rivalry with Clemson
Your lust for Clemson.
Yeah.
It's not a rivalry. You have a thirst to hunt for Clemson.
Yes.
Right? Like if you're hunting, you don't stop hunting to go catch rabbits. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I want that. I want that steak. I want that wild boar with my bare hands. But that's still the goal. just because you don't get them. You know what I'm saying? Just because you don't get them.
Yeah.
But you're 3 years close, and you get blown out a year. Like it's not. Give me 3 years of blown out. Like you quit scoffing at the 3 years you're close to them.
Yeah.
And looking at the 1 year you got blown out.
That's fact, man.
Kevin, thanks for joining us on 93.9, my man. What's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I think we gotta pump our brakes a little bit because we sound in the same way that we used to accuse other fan bases of us when we was trying to get a good game. You know, where they would say there's no use in playing Louisville. It's a win. It's no win. If you beat them, you're supposed to. I don't think we're at that point yet. You know what I'm saying? Just because we moved, you know, like you guys keep using these neighborhoods as an example, you might have got a chance to move to Lake Forest, but you still hanging your clothes up in the living room to dry instead of using the dryer. I don't think that we at that stage where we can look down our nose at a program that we associated with. I think when we lose that thirst and that desire and that hungriness that got us to where we are, and then we start thinking that we're elite, you know, just because without a lot of things backing it up, you know, bowl wins,
right,
big bowl wins and things like that, we become Kentucky, you know, real quick. You know, I tell my buddy, I said, think about Louisville. What I like about Louisville, it's like going to a party when you're in high school. You go to a party at a real nice neighborhood, all the rich kids, and then there's this guy. He comes from a neighborhood where, you know, he might live in an apartment or he might live in a flat, you know, a flat house or
right,
on a slab or whatever, but he's got swag and he's attracting all the girls. That's why, and they want him up out of there. That's the way I would picture Louisville. We want to be that guy. We don't want to turn into Biff.
That's a great analogy. I appreciate the call. Texter made an absolute awesome point. Pardon me if I hurt some feelings on this one, but it's a great point. Text, I really appreciate it. 3831-93.9. Steve, Bobby is the wife. Charlie is the mistress.
Okay.
But if you treated the wife like you treat the mistress, your wife will be happy.
That's a good point.
Quick commercial break. Midday with Marcus Maven. 8150-93.9 is the
Terrible.
number.
Oh, my God.
We're going to be in so much trouble on 93.9 The Ville.
Ever wanted to be behind the wheel of a UPS package car? Here's your opportunity to get